folks, back on the Bossman show from the show, Preston Spradlin. Morehead State go Eagles up there. The OVC won that title in Evansville. I told Coach we have it on March if they won, and look, he's back. We know they won. Coach, good to talk to you, buddy. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on here. And you called it. You said once we go win this thing that you'd have me back on here. So I'm pleased to be back on here talking with you, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, Coach, let's start on the SEMO, Coach. I mean, a very tough game because of Coach Corn's team there. Off the bench, Talon came in there, gave you that big spark off the bench. Plays big minutes for you anyway. And him and Johnny did their thing, man, against Brad Corn's guys. Tell us how that sets you up for what happened the rest of that time in Evansville there, Coach.
Yeah, I think anytime you play that first game, you've got your first game jitters once you get into postseason, right? And so it's always good to get that first one under your belt. And I think the good thing for us is it was a tough game. It was a physical game. I got to give Brad a shout out. He did an unbelievable job this year. We played him 3 times, 3 hard-fought games. He made big-time adjustments between each game, and he did a great job for year one. I wish my year one would have been as successful as his was. But SEMO gave us a great game. It was tough. They got great guard play. Came down to the wire pretty much, and I think we won that game by 8 points. And so when you do that, obviously you kind of get the postseason jitters out of the way. But to win a close game just gives you some confidence moving forward. And that's what we had told our guys going into Evansville. There's not going to be any blowouts. They're all going to be tight, close games. So all the regular season games that we had that, maybe on paper people felt like we should have won by a larger margin, we knew that those games were going to prepare us for what we were going to get to in Evansville.
And the main thing you said, Coach, is getting the victory. We don't care how it looks. We just want to get the W. And I feel like too many people in my business worry about the aesthetics of how it looks pretty or not, or it looks beautiful or not. No, I don't care if I win by 1 or 41. It's a W, and I'm moving on. I don't care about the rest.
We say that we tell our guys all the time. You can't play the scores, you can't play the statistics or the records. It does not matter, especially when you get into March. My assistant Dominic Lombardi, literally before every game, as we're walking out, he tells our staff, "Just got to win by 1. Just got to win by 1," and that's all we care about. And I always tell our guys too, and this has been an important message for them, is I don't always judge our performance on the final score. We could. We played we played Richmond at the beginning of the season. I think the final score was 18. They beat us. We played well. We played really good. And it's just a really good team. They were top 25 at the time. They were a veteran squad and Princeton style offense, really hard to play against, but we played well. Then at the end of the season, we played Tennessee Martin at their place. We were up 21, ended up only winning by 11, but we didn't play well. We didn't play well at all, but we played good enough to win that night. And so that was always the message with the guys. And I appreciate you saying that. It doesn't matter how many you win by. It matters that you just win. But we wanted to hold our guys to our standard and not really play to the level of our competition. And games like that gave us the opportunity to get that message to them before we got to postseason.
And Coach, my audience is getting smarter. I've taught them about basketball. It's really make or miss, execution and energy. All that stuff that you hear it's really elementary. It's make or miss, executing things. So that makes a good coach or a bad coach by making or missing, having the best players or not, and execution. So a lot of these narratives that we hear in the media that is not this show, of course, is a lot of his hogwash, Coach, because it's not really what it's about.
Yeah, I think this year for us, man, we knew early on that if we were going to win, we were going to be a great defensive team. And I think toughness is really important every year, but I think during the pandemic, it is the most important thing. Toughness wins this year more than ever. And we've got a tough group of guys, man. We really do. And, the defensive side of it, we finished the season number 1 in 10 out of 11 defensive statistical categories in the OVC. And we're proud of that. And the thing that we told our guys to get them to buy into that is, you're not always going to shoot the ball well. They're going to run into teams that take your top guys away and make it difficult for them to score. But you got a chance to defend every night. And if you can do that, and you can have your identity wrapped up in that, and you're going to give yourself a chance to win. We literally told them, you can pack your defense up and put it on the bottom of the bus and go to Evansville and win with it. And that's what we did.
You got that right, and then you played your in-state rivals one more time for Toledo OVC, Eastern Kentucky. This was a very tough game. Made some late free throws in that game. Devon Cooper stepped up in that game for you, along with Johnny, of course, getting a double-double again on night two of that tournament. Tell us about that game and how it felt good to send your in-state rivals a package from the OVC with a party gift of a victory in Evansville there.
Yeah, anytime that AW's team and my teams get together, man, it is going to be a war. He's going to have them prepared. We're going to play differently, on both sides of the ball, kind of contradicting styles a little bit. And so it's a battle of wills in that game, right? Who can control the tempo and impose their will on the other team the most? And early in that game, they were winning that battle. We were having trouble with the press. It's hard to prepare without a practice to get you guys ready for that style. But then we settled in. We started defending the way that we're capable of doing it. We started, attacking the press and breaking it for points. And man, we went on a big run. A big part of that was Davon, as you mentioned, right before the half. I think we ended the first half on a 12-0 run to go in the locker room with a 3-point lead. And I don't think we trailed the rest of the game, ended up winning by 3. But that's a high intensity game, right? Big time rivalry. Morehead State, Eastern Kentucky, the last time that we'll see each other as being members of the same conference. So it was a high stakes game for both fan bases and for our league, and we're just thankful we came out on the right side of it.
Now, Preston, you feel like this? We talked in February here. You hadn't quite played Casey and Belmont yet, but you played them down in Nashville. Then you played them at your place again and won on the 27th of February. How key was it in winning that game on Saturday, seeing them twice and beating them once just a week prior to playing them again in Evansville?
It was really important. We talk about getting better. That's literally our goal. That's all we talk about every single day. And when we lost at Belmont, we had a whole week to work on ourselves before we had another game. And so we had a bad taste in our mouth, and our guys it was a good reset for us because we had won 12 straight games going into Belmont. It brought us down, it humbled us a little bit, and it made us get our hunger back on the practice court. And so we worked on ourselves. We tweaked some things, and then we were able to win 7 in a row. But before we were able to win 3 in a row going into the Belmont game here at home, and played those guys here. We're up 9 with a minute to go, and we don't handle business very good in the last 60 seconds. They force overtime. Then we go into overtime. We hold them without scoring for 3 straight minutes, and then end up pulling away and winning that one. But we told our guys on Saturday night in the OVC tournament, hey, listen, our goal's been to get better. We're better on this Saturday than we were last Saturday because of the work you guys have put in and the belief that you've had. And let's go out here and let's prove it. But it gave us confidence to know going into the conference tournament that we could beat them because we had just beaten them there the week before. But man, they're a great team. Casey does an unbelievable job. They've got some great players, great tradition. They had a phenomenal season. I don't, the fact that we ended up winning the game in the conference championship game, it shouldn't take anything away from the great season that they had because it was really remarkable. And you look at the 3 teams we've talked about, right? Us, Eastern Kentucky, and Belmont. Somebody had tweeted last week that there were only 8 teams in the country that had 20 wins. 3 of them were the 3 I just mentioned in our league. So those are 3 really good programs that are having 3 really good seasons, and we'll make sure that we highlight that.
Most definitely. Now, Saturday night, I was watched the game on TV. I feel like your guy was just clicking on everything. It was just energy, effort, shots going down. And I feel like, you got that big lead. Of course, Belmont been who they are going to make a run. Casey's guys are never going to quit. So, but just seeing your team do what they did for most of that game had to make you happy, knowing, like you said, you ain't got better from each night of that tournament. You got to be better Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. You guys got better, and just to see your team in that magical moment just come together in that great way had to make you and your staff and your university feel so good to see these Eagles led by you and your players really bought in and showed it all on TV Saturday night for everybody to see.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It was. Hold on, can you still see me?
I
Okay.
sure can, Coach. I got you,
Okay.
buddy.
Yeah, no, it was huge, man. It was huge to the 10-year anniversary of Coach Tyndall and taking his team to the NCAA tournament with Kenneth Fareed and DeMonte Harper, hitting the big shot to beat Louisville in the NCAA tournament. So, our fan base was ready. They needed another championship, and to be able to provide that was really meaningful. And for just all of our guys, two of our players that it stands out for more than anybody else are James Baker and Davon Cooper, because they're two Kentucky guys, and they were on our very first team here when I got the job. And they're the only two that were here for year one when we won 8 games, year two when we won 13 games, year three when we finished 8th in the league and won 13. And so for those guys, it really meant a lot because they've stayed committed to our vision and what we've asked them to do. And to see it finally flip and, end in a championship for those guys, it meant a lot.
Most definitely, and Demonte Harper was high school with my brother, believe it or not.
Okay.
So it's funny that you bring up his name because it's funny because he's about a few years younger than I am. So I'm like, yeah. So Demonte, yeah, he's like, yeah, I still see you, brother. So he's happy. My brother went to school with them, man. So it's funny that you mentioned his name. And Coach, that in 2011, I was in college still getting my master's degree. So it's like, so 10 years ago, it's like I can't believe it's been that long already, man. It's like, wow, I'm getting old here, Coach.
No question, man. It'll age you fast. That's no doubt.
Now, Coach, for the rest of the week, man, so tell us your plans, man, to kind of keep your guys kind of sharp so you don't get rusty, per se, knowing that you have to go to Indianapolis next week here. So what's the plan for you guys to keep them rest versus rust here?
Yeah, it's a great question, right? It's a balancing act. First of all, I like the fact that, we're the first ticket punch. We're the first conference tournament to be completed every year. So that's obviously exciting that we get to kick off March Madness in the OVC. Also like the fact that we get to enjoy our championship for a full week before, we have to, we find out who we're going to play and have to start shifting our focus to the NCAA tournament. We get to be the champs for a full week and do a lot of great interviews like this one here. But it is a balancing act, right? You want to give your guys rest. You want to give them some time off, but you don't want to lose your edge. You want to stay sharp, as you mentioned. So, we were off Sunday. We traveled back home. We did some media things and parade type deal coming down Main Street upon our return. And then we were off Monday, off Tuesday, and just letting the guys get back academically and do what they need to do. They had some interviews and things to do as well. And then we're going to get back into it on Wednesday. We'll go individuals, we'll lift, we'll do what we call a power hour, which is a meeting with our character coach, and just to get our mind right, especially right now coming off the championship, to get us prepared. And then we'll practice Thursday, Friday. We'll really get after it. We'll probably scrimmage a lot just so that we can tip it up and simulate a game as best we can. We'll get off on Saturday, and I think right now the plan is the NCAA is asking us to travel to Indianapolis on Saturday, which is crazy. We're going to be there nearly a week before we play a game to kind of enter the bubble, as you would say, with testing and things like that. Then we'll practice Sunday in Indianapolis, and then we'll enjoy the selection show. I think our administration is probably going to put on some type of live in-person selection show here for our fans to come in the arena and just enjoy in that moment together, even though we'll probably have to zoom in virtually for it. But and then we'll see, man. We'll see, do we play Friday? Do we play Saturday? Who do we play? How do we want to structure our week? But we're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy it. But at the same time, we're going to keep in mind what got us here is focusing on getting better. And we're not done getting better. We're going to continue to do that. And whoever we get the opportunity to play, we're going to be ready. And we're going to make the most of that opportunity. We can go into the game with a mindset that we're here to win. We're not here for the experience. That's not what we're in this for. We're here because our guys are for real. And we feel like we can play with anybody. And we're going to go prove that.
Well, Preston, I'll be cheering for you, buddy. I want you to do well, man. So I'm proud of you. I'm OVC guy, so I love it. So I'll be definitely cheering for you guys. You're my home conference at OVC, so I'm definitely with you, buddy. I'm an Eagle, man. Morehead State, baby. Let's go.
I appreciate you, man. No doubt about it. I know you love the league, and you respect what great basketball we have in this league. So for us to win the league and represent it in the NCAA tournament, it means a lot. And I know you're always on our side with it, man.
Anytime. But hey, man, you be blessed, man. Be safe. Hope to talk to you real soon, buddy.
Boss man, thanks so much. Always appreciate you.
I'll see you, buddy. Be good now.
Right.